From the Steel Valley Soccer Studios in Boardman, Ohio, with Dan Conley, Tim Walsh, and Chris Platten, this is Pitchman.
No ceilings.
All right, welcome to Steel Valley Soccer. Tim Walsh, Dan Conley. Dan, how you doing tonight?
Doing well. Fresh off our last game of the year that we broadcasted. I feel like we were just here not that long ago trying to figure out the brackets for 2024.
Yeah, and here we are doing it for 2025. No time like the present. Let's get started. We're looking at Boys Division II Northeast 3 bracket. And Dan, you're looking at it right now.
Yeah.
Mention the games and see who do you think is going to win in this first round. It's Walsh Jesuit versus Warren Harding.
Walsh Jesuit's a wagon this year. They're absolutely good. They're going up against Harding, having a down year this year. I think Walsh is probably going to win fairly easy in this game.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that it's going to be a over by halftime.
I was going to say the same thing.
And that is not a slight to Harding as much as it is Walsh is amazing.
Right. I think those games like that, it's interesting as a coach. Do you just want to get out of there, like not risk any injuries, or do you want to get some players some other playing time? I'd be erring on the let's get out of here early side.
Absolutely. And the next game up was them Walsh playing Riverside, and Riverside's a 29 seed, Walsh a 6 seed. I think that's an easy game for them as well.
I completely agree. I think Walsh is going to just waltz their way all the way through this bracket.
Yeah, I have them winning it too. But the other game in there is Worcester versus Stowe. Who do you have in that game?
That's Worcester for me, and I feel like this is a pretty decent drive for Worcester. I feel like they're pretty far out of where they play at, but it's a home game for Worcester. I think Worcester, they at one point in their history, not that long ago, they were like a state title contending team. So I see Worcester winning that.
Funny thing, I have Stowe Monroe Falls
Ooh.
getting the W there. Do we have our first fight off?
Yeah. 3 picks in, we already got one.
Play of the day.
Not the right button.
Time for a game breakdown.
Okay, we're going to look at the tail of the tape. I'm looking at Stowe, and I see them beating Uniontown Lake 5-0, Gilmore Academy 3-1, Hudson 4-2 they beat. What do you got for Worcester?
Worcester, they also beat Lake, albeit only 1-0. They beat Copley 4-1, but we know Copley's not the same team that they used to be.
Correct.
They beat Hobart 4-0. They beat Lexington 2-1, and they lost to Shaker Heights 2-0. And we know Shaker Heights is a pretty good team this year. I'm going to say, looking at this here, I'm liking Stowe's their body of work a little bit better than Worcester.
Yeah, I think the one thing is we look at the common opponent, Uniontown Lake. I know they played them early in the season, but a 5-0 win compared to a loss, or what did Worcester have?
1-0.
Win?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm sorry, Uniontown Lake, they won 1-0.
Yeah, so 4-goal difference there. I kind of looked at that. I think I'm gonna lean Stowe. You're gonna lean there. We're gonna have to let Chris decide it later when he shows up. But we're both in agreement that Walsh Jesuit walks away with the boys D2 Northeast 3 district championship. 2 games. That's all you need to win.
That's crazy.
But they'll win 3. Okay, we're going to boys Division 2 Northeast 4.
Now, this first game here is pretty interesting. This is our first game we're coming to. This is Medina Highland versus Austintown Fitch in the first round here. And the winner gets to play Hudson. And what a prize you get for winning that first game. Medina Highland, they got a better record than Fitch has. So I think they're both. This to me is a very even game. Austintown Fitch comes in as a 23rd seed. Medina Highland comes in as a 21st seed. My heart says Austintown Fitch, and I'm having a hard time averting from my heart right now.
No, I agree with you. Austintown Fitch, they got a little bit of life into them. They got a new coach in there for the remainder of the season, John Wallace. So I think they have a lot of passion in these next couple of games to prove that, hey, we can still play this game at a high level. So I think they win, but unfortunately, I think Hudson gets them in the next round.
Right. Yeah, I think Hudson. I'm going to say it again. They're gonna waltz to us. District final. They're probably going to come out as the victor, but looking down from there's Shaker Heights versus Massillon Perry. Shaker Heights, we've seen them. I think that they beat Fitch pretty handily earlier in the year. Massillon Perry also. We've seen they have some common opponents around here, but I think it's going to end up being Hudson and Shaker Heights in the district finals here.
Hey, look at that. We agree again. I think Shaker Heights is the 10 seed for a reason, And I think that when you have less teams, so Division II only has 64 teams in the entire state in Division II. So I think there's a little bit more of people who are doing their research and they seed them more properly than they do if there's like 180 kids or 180 teams in there. So Hudson Shaker Heights, Hudson again walks away with another district title. Still in Division II, the last one, Division II Northeast 5. We're looking at Boardman versus Normandy. Boardman a 24 seed and Normandy a 27, Dan.
Yeah, I know they're close in seeding, but Boardman they have players that are very good on their team. It's just all about putting it all together. And we've seen they just tied Howland earlier this week. So they get results against very quality teams that we don't see, and then they struggle against teams that we think that they should beat. And I think Boardman's going to come out victorious in this one, though, with all that being said, over Normandy, who did not have a very good season at all.
And unfortunately for our viewers, listeners,
time for a game breakdown.
Let's go to the tail of the tape. All right, first we'll take a look at Normandy. They're 3-8-5, but they have a couple of very close wins. Berea Mid-Park 1-1 is a tie. North Ridgeville, they lost 2-1. Amherst still a tie 1-1. Bay Village, they only lost 3-0. Buckeye, Medina Buckeye 1-1. Elyria Catholic, they beat twice. Holy Name 4-0. So, yeah, they're having a down season. What do you think, Dan? What's Boardman have on their schedule?
As far as Boardman goes, and I think they're a wild card because it's like Jekyll and Hyde with Boardman. They started off the year, they started strong. They tied Hoover, they tied Poland. We know Poland went undefeated this year. They lost to West Branch, they lost to Mooney 3-1. They split with they tied once against Harding here not that long ago. They beat Hubbard 2-0. So I am going to stick to my guns on this. And again, Boardman, I feel like Boardman's one of those teams. They can come out here and they could win 5-0, or they could lose 5-0. It just depends on what they get going. I think that they're going to want to try to right the ship of what they've been doing the past couple of years. I'm going to stick with my original prediction of Boardman.
All right, Dan, you have swayed me. I will also pick Boardman. I think, a little bit of the local love is nothing that's a bad thing, but I think their body of work might be a little bit better than I thought. Unfortunately for them, or anyone who wins that game, they go up against the number 1 seed, Avon, and Avon's just a juggernaut.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've said that all the time, but the top teams in Division II, they used to be D1 schools for a long time, and they were great in D1. They go down to D2. I think they're even better there, so I agree.
Absolutely. And on the other side, Green, the 15 seed, in North Ridgeville. This is when I have the upset. I have North Ridgeville beating Green just for some of the common opponents that they've played, or maybe people, the distributive property, they played someone who lost to somebody who beat the other team. So
I'm completely in agreement with you on that.
All right. So North Ridgeville versus Avon, and Avon, another district champion. All right. Look at that. We have gotten through Division II. Time for a commercial break, Dan?
Let's hit it.
Welcome back to Papa John's. I'm hand stuffing this mozzarella to make our epic stuffed crust pizza.
Epic.
Hey! We're making you an epic stuffed crust pizza for $13.99.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
All right, now we get to Division III, and the bracket looks a little bit different. You might have to win 3 games to get there, possibly 4 if you get in that play-in game. So the first game is Streetsboro, Uniontown Lake, a 25 seed versus a 43. Who do you have?
Streetsboro, and how crazy is that to see the number 43 next to Uniontown Lake?
It's been a while since they've been on top, but they're very storied history.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go from the bottom up now. The 18 seed Salem versus the 19 seed Louisville.
Now, this is a tough one here. They're neck and neck. I think it's a coin flip to me. Salem's had a great year this year. Coach Myers has had those boys playing very well. This is one of these things where my heart says Salem, my brain says Louisville, and I want Salem to win, but I feel like Louisville's going to win for whatever reason.
That's exactly the same thing. They're even. You look at some opponents. You look how they're playing going into the playoffs too. I mean, Salem just beat a very good Beaver local team, but I think Louisville gets them. And unfortunately, is whoever wins this game, I have a feeling is going to win that next one too.
Okay.
So
I wouldn't be surprised if Salem wins. I'll say that. It's like if they play 10 times, I would think Salem's going to win minimum 4.
Yeah. Oh, I absolutely. It is razor thin margins. We just kind of have to go with a hunch here, and that's the one we're going with. The next one is the 9 seed Alliance Marlington. I hate when they put those little Alliance It's just Marlington.
Right.
The 9 seed versus Ravenna. The checks his notes. The 48 seed.
That's pretty easy. Let's just say Marlington and move on.
Okay. Then we have Gates Mills Hawken, the number 4 seed versus John Hay, the number 53 seed.
Yeah, I know you. You know Gates Mills Hawken very well from your time in high school.
That I do, and they're going to win that one.
Yep.
So we have Streetsboro, the winner in the first play-in game, against Kent Roosevelt, the 13 seed. Who do you got, Dan?
That's Kent Roosevelt all the way there.
Yeah. So we have Kent and Hawken. Who do you want?
Hawken.
Hawken,
Yeah,
absolutely. They're having a very good season. And Marlington versus Louisville.
You said you're going to pick Louisville. I'm going to stick with Marlington here, but am I correct in that?
I don't know. Let's do another face-off.
Time for a game
Go first with
breakdown.
Marlington.
In Marlington, they had a record of 11-1-4, so they only lost one game on the year. They beat Salem. They beat the regular Alliance. They tied Glen Oak. They lost to Howell 1-0. They tied Poland. Tied Revere.
Which
They
is
beat Lake Center Christian.
Mm-hmm.
I think their body of work is a little bit better, in my opinion. So I'm going to stick with Marlington here.
As I'm looking, I saw they played each other in the regular season to a 0-0 tie. So I think it's going to be a little bit closer than people think.
Oh, absolutely.
But Louisville also beat Highland 3-2, beat Lake 2-1. They did lose to Howland 2-0. They did lose to Glen Oak 5-0. Worcester 2-1. So looking at this, Dan, I think I'm going to sway to your side here. I think we're going to switch that to Marlington playing in the district final against Hawken. And who would you have in that game, Dan?
Hawken.
Now, remember, they won. They were undefeated state champs back in 2000. They were state runner-up back in 99. I think they've won a couple state championships since then. So Hawken is known for being a very good soccer program.
Mm-hmm.
All right, staying in Division 3, Northeast 3. We got some good teams there. Dan, you ready for that one?
I'm ready.
Oh, okay. Holy Name against Garfield Community Learning Center. It's a 42 seed versus a 50 seed. That's a
I have
tough
never
one
heard of
to check.
Yeah, I'm just going to say Holy Name here. I've never seen Akron. I've heard of Akron Garfield. Maybe it's just always been called Community Learning Center.
We got Garrettsville Garfield, which is the one that's kind of near us that we've seen teams play a lot this season. And then this one's something totally different. So I had to actually go searching for their logo to put it into our bracket here. But yeah, I'm with you on that. Holy Name. They end up playing Canfield. So Holy Name or Canfield? Canfield the 3 seed. Dan?
Canfield.
Copley, the 28 seed versus Akron Springfield, the 30 seed.
Yeah, it's also strange seeing the seed number 28 next to Copley, but I feel like there's just too much of a storied history with them that they're not going to drop the first round here. So I see Copley winning it.
I'm with you on that. And I think a lot of times when these teams play good teams from outside of their area, people just see that as a loss and not who they're losing to. And maybe that would lead to a lower seed than that. Rocky River, the 11 seed versus Talmadge, the 22.
Yeah, it's Rocky River for me.
Yeah, we're kind of going chalk a little bit here. Nardonia, the 35 seed versus Akron North, the 15 seed.
Yeah, Akron North's always one of those odd schools where they have almost a brand new team every year with international players coming in, but Akron North's going to win this, and it's like playing Georgia Tech in college football where they play the triple option. You can't train, you cannot practice for Akron North very much because they're so off the wall with what they do.
No, but I agree with you. I think North gets it. We have Canfield versus Copley to make it to the district final.
That's Canfield all day of the week for me.
And twice on Sunday. Rocky River versus North to get to that final.
I'm gonna go with Rocky River.
Same. Look at us agreeing with each other. I'm sure there's a noise for that. District championship, Canfield, Rocky River.
This is gonna be a very close game. I feel Rocky River and Canfield girls meet all the time in this scenario. I think Rocky River normally gets the better of them more often than not. But I'm gonna go with Canfield here.
Same. So we have Canfield winning district in Division 3 Northeast 3. On to the next one. We have 15 boys brackets, 15 girls brackets. We're trying to get through as fast as possible because no one wants to hear us talk any more than we have to. Division 3, Northeast 6 is the next one that has a couple of our teams and a couple of local teams starting it off. Howland versus Niles. Howland a 2 seed, Niles a 51 seed.
Yep, that's Howland all the way.
That's Howland, easy one. Geneva, the 33 seed versus St. Vincent St. Mary's, the 40 seed.
That's Geneva. I think St. Mary's is a really bad team this year.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think they've just been down on their luck the last couple of years. I think they only won one last year. Might only have a couple wins this year. Not quite the time period to be an Irish soccer player.
Right.
University School, the 10 seed versus Buckeye, the 37 seed.
Yeah, University.
Yeah, and normally Buckeye's a very good team, but must not be having a very good season.
Mm-hmm.
The 12 seed Chardon versus Harvey, the 16 seed.
I'm gonna go with
Chardon versus this is a toss.
I'm gonna go with Harvey here. I feel like I always
Time for a game breakdown.
Yep.
All right, Chardon 12-3-1, and they played each other in the regular season against Harvey, and the score was 3-2. So it's only a 1-goal difference, but I think they should get the nod for that. What do you think, Dan?
I think that's all you need to say to convince me. Looking at the schedule here for Harvey, besides that, I think a lot of the results here are pretty even against teams I think that are lesser. So I'm gonna agree with you on this one. I'm gonna go Chardon as well.
All right. So then we have Howland versus Geneva.
Howland for me.
Howland
I think
for
it's
me
easy
as well. And University versus Chardon.
University.
Same. So we have Howland versus University. Howland the 2 seed, University the 10 seed. Who do you have, Dan?
Man, is this a tough one here? I think it's 10 seed to 2 seed. That seems like they're kind of far away, but they're really not. They're really not. I'm gonna go University.
Time for a game breakdown.
All right, so for University this year, they were 7-6-1. They had a win against Gilmer Academy. They beat Mentor. They beat Massillon Jackson. They beat Akron North, and they beat North Ridgeville and Hoban. With all that being said, they did lose to Hawken. They did lose to they lost to Hoover, which is down this year. They lost to Avon Lake, Tide Green. They're playing Western Reserve Academy just before their playoff game. So I think they play a very tough schedule. Very tough schedule. I think I'm gonna have to hear Howland's resume.
Howland 4-1-1 right now. Not the most promising thing, taking a 0-0 tie with Boardman recently. But they beat Canfield, they beat Fitch, they beat Orange, they beat Copley 5-0, they beat Fitch again 5-0, Padua Franciscan 4-2, Marlington 1-0, Louisville. They beat Harvey 4-1. Right now they're beating Solon 1-0 in the first half tonight. So I don't know, Dan. What do you think?
This is one of those things. I feel like Howland is one of those. You can't attain, you can't touch them. They are so good, and then for whatever reason, they just have trouble scoring. Mm-hmm. And I think University plays a schedule that is like insane. They play Ignatius, St. Ed's, Jackson, all these teams, Avon Lake, week in and week out. This is one of these things too. My heart really wants Howland to win this, but my brain's still telling me that's going to be University.
I tell you what, I will join you on the University train. Sorry to the Tigers and their den, but looks like Division 3, Northeast 6, we're going to have University. All right, we are motoring through. We're going to take another commercial break.
Did you miss the last Youngstown Phantoms hockey game? Catch up with the Dump and Chase podcast.
He's a pretty big guy, and he was the only one with hair. I am, of course, talking about assistant coach Brandon Gawkin. Brandon, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for all your support. It's great, the stuff that you guys do and how much coverage you bring. I know we appreciate it a lot as a coaching staff, and our guys really appreciate it. So thank you so much for putting all this hard work in.
The Dump and Chase podcast, Wednesdays at 5, right here on Western Reserve Radio and the iMedia One network.
All right, we're going to Division 4 East 2 because we have a team in there. This is notoriously the same teams that they play throughout the season, year in and year out. This is one of the easiest ways to win a district title for the most part. There are some tough teams, don't get me wrong, but overall, you win a couple games against teams you've played already, and you got it. So the first one is the 2nd seed, Riverview, versus the 16 seed Edison.
Yeah, Warsaw Riverview.
Easy enough. We have Union Local, the 8 seed, versus Harrison Central, the 9 seed.
We'll go with, I don't know, Harrison Central for me.
Oh, I got Union.
Time for a game breakdown.
All right, starting off for Harrison Central. They were 6-10 on the year. They lost to Beaver Local 3-0. They beat Minerva 4-1. They lost to East Liverpool 2-0. I feel like I know where I'm going to sway on this one, so let me hear your side.
I have Union Local, they're 9-6-1, and they beat Harrison Central 4-3, but lost to them 1-0 as well. But they beat East Liverpool, they beat Carrollton, they beat Monroe Central, Shenandoah, Monroe Central again, Brook, who's having a bad season. They're in West Virginia. I don't know, Dan. I think they're beating a lot of people. They lost to Beaver Local 4-0. So who do you think?
Yeah, Harrison Central lost to Beaver Local 3-0. But I think I'm going to sway with you. I'm going to go with Union Local as well. It's how crazy I have to play a team 3 times in a season.
Yeah, we're going to see that a couple times in these brackets today.
Mm-hmm.
Next one is, they call them Lisbon Beaver, but I've on Beaver Locals, all I've ever called them. They are the 5 seed?
Yep.
Against Coshocton, the 12 seed. Who do you got?
Beaver
there?
Local. Beaver Local.
I think they're gonna do really well. Morgan, the 4 seed, versus Minerva, the 15 seed.
Morgan
as well. Riverview versus Union Local.
Riverview.
And Beaver Local versus Morgan.
Beaver Local.
I know that Morgan is the higher seed, but I think that Beaver Local, just by 1, I think they got this. And then Riverview versus Beaver Local.
Riverview.
Same here, Dan. Nope. That's the one. All right. We're moving right along here. Boys Division 4 Northeast 1. And the first game that comes up is Firelands, the 5 seed, versus Cleveland Shaw, the 39 seed.
Yeah, Firelines. It is.
Yeah, it is. Another playing game, West Branch, the 6 seed, versus Woodridge, the 33 seed.
West Branch for sure, but how do you feel about that, playing an extra game?
I like it just for the fact that you're going to play a team that you're not really going to have to compete with, as long as it's not as physical as it could be. If you get up and get a few goals in early and they're able to play the ball around and not have to incur those hits, yes. Because the longer you take off, the more each game kind of feels like it means more. You get a little anxiety, you get a little jumpy on it. If it's just business as usual and you're in the flow of things, it's much better off. What do you think?
Yeah, I think West Branch, they're playing their first game on the 13th, and when they win, they're going to play again on the 18th. So they do get 5 days in between. Instead of the non-playing games, it would be playing on the 15th. Myself, I'd rather take less wear on the kids, but I completely understand the thought process of just kind of staying in the flow, keeping the gears lubed and running. I understand that completely, though.
And if you have existing injuries, I could see skipping and then playing game because you're like, hey, I need to give these people some time to recover. Firelands versus Pepper Pike Orange, who's the 23 seed. So that's a 5 seed versus a 23 seed.
Yeah, Firelands for me.
I actually have this as being one of my dark horse upsets. So let's take a look at it.
Time for a game breakdown.
But for Firelands, they came into the year, they finished the year 14-2-1. Their only 2 losses are to Rocky River and the Midview. They beat Amherst Steel, they beat Vermilion, they beat Columbia, they beat Keystone again, they beat Wellington, Elyria, and their goal differential's pretty far shaped towards them.
Did you say Mayfield that they played?
No, I said not them. I don't know who I said though.
How about Rocky River?
They lost 3-0 to Rocky River. All
right, so Orange with a record of 4-9-2 lost to Rocky River 4-0. But who beat Firelands? The 2 games they lost?
Rocky River and Midview.
Orange beat Midview 5-2.
Ooh, and Firelands lost 5-0.
Yeah. And I feel like if that's a common opponent and the other one is Rocky River, they both lost 3-0, 4-0. So I don't know, man.
I think the Amherst Steel's a pretty good win for them. Oberlin's not good this year. They tied. Now here's the interesting one. Firelines beat Oberlin 8-0. and then tied them 0-0.
Yeah, it feels like a tale of two teams.
Boy, I just have a hard time picking against a team that's been as good as this. But
Let's
you know
go
what they
with it.
say? You know what? Ready for the button? Blanket. I agree with you. Let's go with orange.
All right, we're going with orange, and we'll put a star next to them because that is one that's a big upset. That's probably our upset of the day.
Upset of the
if I had a button for
day.
that. Then we have Notre Dame Cathedral Latine, which is a 15 seed versus Girard, a 25 seed.
Yeah, we're gonna go NDCL on this one.
Absolutely. Field, the 9 seed, and Fairview, the 17 seed.
Field. Fun fact on Field is I used to see their buses going by. It just said Field Local Schools or something like that. I'm like, is that like a generic name? Like road, field, mountain.
All right. Orville, the 22 seed versus West Branch, the 6 seed.
West Branch.
All right. West Branch again versus Field, 9 versus 6.
I think this is gonna be a close game, but I'm gonna say my heart and my brain both agree here. It's West Branch.
Absolutely. Same with me. Orange versus Notre Dame Cathedral Latine.
We're gonna go NDCL again.
Same. So it's West Branch and NDCL.
That's gonna be West Branch.
That's who I have too, Dan.
Let me say this: if Orange wins, I think West Branch's path to winning districts easier. If Firelands wins, I think it's gonna be a little bit tougher, but I think they're gonna win either way.
Dan, I love the prediction. Yeah. All right. I think we have one more. No, we got a couple more in Division 4 for boys. Northeast 2, Division 4 boys. The first one is the 2nd seed, Chagrin Falls versus Garfield Heights Trinity, the 30 seed.
We're going to go with Garfield Heights.
I hate you. Chagrin Falls it is.
Yeah.
I knew what you were doing there. Another playing game, Cleveland Lincoln West, the 11 seed versus Akron Coventry, the 37 seed. Sorry.
Yeah, it's Lincoln West all the way.
Lincoln
That's another
West.
interesting satellite school as well, Lincoln West.
Yeah, I want to say they're a very big basketball school as well. All right, Chagrin Falls, the 2 seed versus Jefferson, the 38 seed.
Yeah, Chagrin Falls.
Yeah, I think that's going to be another continuous clock game. Akron Manchester, the 13 seed versus Andrews Osborne, the 21 seed.
Andrews Osborne's having a little bit of rough go this year. I have a hard time picking against them. So I'm going to go with the upset here in Andrews Osborne.
Oh, we got a matchup.
Time for a game breakdown.
All right, Akron Manchester, 12-2-3. Beating teams like Fairless, Tuslaw, Akron Springfield, Garfield, the other Garfield, the one from up north. Tied Canton Central Catholic, beat Copley 3-1, beat Canton South 2-1. Nothing here really screams out they're going to dominate, but I think they're a little bit better than AOA.
You look at it, Andrews Osborne here. They lost to Shaker 5-1. They only lost to Walsh Jesuit 2-1. They tied Kenston. They only lost to University 3-0. And 2 teams I've never heard of before. I'm probably going to say I'm swearing. Fuchs, Mizarchi, they won 8-0, and Hiskey School 1-1. So they only have 10 games uploaded in Max Prep, so it's a small sample size. They did lose the Lake Catholic Mentor as well.
The Kiski School's out of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And the Fuchs Mizrachi Mayhem are from University Heights. So, yeah, I've seen the name, but I've never seen them or play anybody. But they beat them 8-0. So,
I think I'm gonna agree with you on this one.
Yeah, Manchester. We're gonna keep Manchester. We're gonna see AOA is gonna play Mooney on Saturday. So maybe that would tell us a little bit more. Maybe we'll get the late 11th hour rebuttal. Going down the list here, Clearview, the 24 seed versus our Columbiana Crestview, the 16 seed.
That's Crestview.
Same. I think they've been playing. They're kind of under the radar. We keep calling them a small school, but they're in Division 4 now. But I think they have some talented players, and I think they're playing some good soccer.
Yeah, I think they play the game the right way as well. I think they have just enough to make some. They'll be able to make some noise during the playoffs in Division 4.
But unfortunately for them, not too much noise because Menor Lake Catholic against Lincoln West. I think Menor Lake is the 4 seed. Lincoln West is the 11th. I have Menor Lake winning that one.
Absolutely.
And I have Menor Lake beating Crestview. And I think and as good as Crestview is, I think Lake Catholic is just hands down better.
Yeah, I think they're deeper than Crestview. I think that's what's going to shine through.
Chagrin Falls versus Manchester.
Chagrin Falls.
2 seed, yeah, same here. And Chagrin Falls versus Lake Catholic.
It's a very good matchup, but I'm going to go Chagrin Falls here.
I'm going to go with Lake Catholic. Let's see the tail.
Time for a game breakdown.
All right, so I'm looking at Chagrin Falls. That's what I'm picking. Chagrin Falls is 13-2 on the year. They beat Kenston, they beat Rootstown, they beat Orange, they beat Fairview, they beat West Geauga, Berkshire, Gilmore Academy. They lost to Rocky River 5-3, and they lost to Bay 4-0. But for the most part, I'm not going to say they play a very tough schedule, but they beat everybody in their way, except with the exception of Bay and Rocky River.
We have Lake Catholic at 10-2-3. They beat Hawken 3-1. They beat Riverside 4-0. CVCA they beat 3-0. They beat West Geauga 2-0. They beat Andrews Osborne 3-1. They tied Mooney, and they were down, I think, multiple goals against Mooney and able to come back. They beat Olmsted Falls, Holy Name. They beat Shaker Heights. They beat Lexington. They lost to Notre Dame Cathedral Latin, and they lost to Padua Franciscan by 1 goal each. So I think this is really a toss-up, I think, between the two.
Yeah. Chagrin Falls beat West Geauga 5-1. A little bit more so than Lake Catholic, but those are some good results Lake Catholic has. Lake Catholic has played a much tougher schedule than Chagrin Falls did at the same time.
Correct.
This one wouldn't surprise me either way, but I'm gonna side with you on this one.
Okay, come on over to the dark side, Dan. I should get a Darth Vader noise here. You were gonna do it, weren't you, Dan?
I was.
All right, we're over to the last bracket for Division 4, Northeast 3 on the boys' side of things. All right, first playing game, we have Canton South, the 7 seed, versus Lakeview from Cortland, the 18 seed. Unfortunately, I feel like I'm leaning south.
Yeah, I am too. This is weird the way these brackets kind of laid out.
Yeah.
You got this is weird when Canton South 7 seed versus Lakeview seed 18, but the winner of this game plays Ravenna Southeast, who's seed 32.
I agree.
So I don't know why you could have just kind of slotted yourself into the next round automatically, but who am I?
No, but Canton South, they used to be kind of they were down for many years. They were kind of like, if you need a win, go play them. This year they're on top. They're doing really well. A 7 seed is very good in this area. Other playing game, we have Hubbard, the 12 seed, versus Ursuline, the 31 seed. They played each other already. Dan, who you got in this?
Yeah, it's Hubbard.
Yeah, I think Ursuline is having a rough year. They've got some pretty good players. I think they have some good things to build on, but I think when the season's over, they're all just going to take a deep breath and be like, okay, good.
Right.
We have South versus Ravenna Southeast, the 32 seed.
Yeah, this is Canton South.
Yep.
And it'll probably be over by halftime.
I agree. Mooney versus Villa Angela St. Joseph, the 35 seed. Mooney's the 8 seed.
Mooney
as well. I think that one's going to be a continuous clock. Poland, the 3 seed, versus Conneaut, the 36 seed.
Poland,
continuous clock. Brookside, the 26 seed, versus Hubbard, the 12 seed.
Hubbard.
And I think for Hubbard, that was kind of having, in the middle of the year there, they're having a rough season. They're starting to pull out some pretty big wins and maybe some ties. Hubbard versus Poland now to go to the district final.
I'm going to go with Poland here, but this is a very close matchup.
I agree. I think they tied 3-3 the last time they played, but I do also have Poland breaking through. South versus Mooney.
I just don't see how many teams in Division 4 are going to beat Mooney.
Mooney last night was a juggernaut. They did well. Mooney, Poland.
I'm still trying not to make the game we saw last night where Mooney looked so good alter my decision, but it's Mooney for me.
It's Mooney for me as well.
Yeah. All due respect to Poland.
All right, so let's take another commercial break. We're going to have a lot of commercials. Maybe we'll just do small commercials. Who knows? We'll be right back. I'm Tim.
And I'm Dan.
And Chris. This is Pitchmen, the Steel Valley Soccer Podcast.
We cover all things high school soccer in the Mahoning Valley.
Catch our episodes on Spotify.
Or visit our website for the skill.
In the back of the net.
The teams.
Mitchell with the shot. Goal! Finds the back of the net.
And the soundboard.
Is the best net. For more information, go to steelvalleysoccer.com.
All right, Division 5 Northeast 1, the play-in game, the only one they have. Jackson Milton versus Columbia Station Columbia. Columbia Station, the 4 seed. Jackson Milton, 35. Dan, who do you have?
Does Columbia go by CSC? But doesn't matter. Columbia Station.
We played them when I was in high school. They had a kid named Will Maskell, had 47 goals in a season. Great talent. Columbia then plays Rootstown, the number 3 seed. Dan?
I'm going to go with Rootstown.
I'm going to go with Columbia. Let's go to the stage.
Time for a game breakdown.
Go ahead, Dan. Tell us about Rootstown.
Rootstown comes into the year. They ended up finishing 11-4-1. They actually just lost to United tonight for one of their final games of the regular season. They lost to Chagrin Falls 6-0. They beat LeBray. Beat Cuyahoga Heights. I'm trying to find. They tied Lake Center Christian. They lost to Central Christian, who's the better of them, and they beat Smithville 2-0. So they play it seems like they play a pretty light schedule, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
So let's hear their opponent here in Columbia.
Columbia's 15-2, and their only losses are to Firelands, even though they lost 10-1 and 6-3. They beat Oberlin, beat Woodridge, beat Keystone, beat Wellington, beat Berkshire 5-1. That's a pretty good win. I don't like when teams are in a league and they play everybody twice.
Right.
Because they're getting, if you have a couple of bad teams, you're getting double the wins now for beating them. So when you beat, let's see, who they beat convincingly, that Fuch Mizrachi 9-0, and then they played them again. I thought they played them again. Maybe I'm wrong. Look at that, I'm wrong. But they beat them. They beat Brookside 6-2, and they beat them 3-2. So like Keystone 9-0, Keystone 8-1. So they're getting double credit for beating a team.
Right, and I think you said Berkshire in there. Your Rootstown beat Berkshire 5-0,
and
they beat Kirkland 4-1.
I don't know. That Kirkland win should be pretty good because they're also in this bracket. So
I'm going to stick here with. I don't feel great about it, to be honest with you. I think both teams play a pretty subpar schedule, and I think this is a very close game. I mean, it is seed 3 versus seed 4, but I'm going to stick with my original prediction here.
All right, I will lean over to Rootstown, and I think that whoever wins that game is going to win the next one, and possibly that gets them into the district championship. So let's go to the next one. Grand Valley versus Warren JFK. Grand Valley's a 23 seed versus JFK, a 37 seed.
Yeah, GV. Yeah, Harding. Kennedy had a very rough year. Lots of learning that went on there.
Yep. Kirtland, the 11 seed versus Waterloo, the 36 seed.
Kirkland.
Kirk Franklin.
Yep. Kirtland. Sorry.
Lake Center Christian, the 20 seed, I believe that is. And Wellington, the 15 seed.
Yeah, Lake Center Christian's always been a good team. Better. I wouldn't say good, but they've always been on the better side. I don't know a whole lot about Wellington, to be completely honest with you.
Well, let me tell you, they lost to Columbia, Station Columbia, 5-2. They lost to Open Door Christian 6-1, Edison 8-2, Columbia again 4-3. So it seems like Rootstown and Columbia, the 3 and 4 seed, it seems kind of crazy that they have to play each other in the second round in the district quarterfinals, and Wellington gets in as a 15 seed, possibly winning and playing in the district semis. You know what I mean?
Right.
I know. We're starting to get outside of the range of the teams we really know about and can talk cleverly about. But I went
Lake Center Christian. Yeah, Lake Center Christian. They tied Rootstown. They what's that? They saw another one here. They lost to Arlington 3-1. They beat Carrollton. They beat Highland. They lost to Highland 5-1. They beat United 5-4.
They beat Camel 6-0.
Yeah. So, I'm
gonna have to go with Lake Center Christian.
Yeah, I think it no matter who we're picking here. I think Kirkland's going to win anyway.
Yeah, I got Kirkland winning the next one. I had Columbia because I think that's going to be a very tough game, but Rootstown beating Grand Valley. And I have Kirtland with the upset win in the district final.
Yeah, I can go with that.
All right. Moving along, we have what? 1, 2, 3. We have 4 more to do. And 15 minutes to do them in. So let's get moving.
All right.
Oberlin versus Lordstown. Oberlin a 21 seed, Lordstown a 32 seed.
What bracket are we in here?
I'm sorry. Division 5, Northeast 2.
Okay.
All right. So I have Oberlin.
Oberlin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oberlin.
And then Oberlin versus United.
United.
Cornerstone Christian versus St. Thomas Aquinas.
Go Cornerstone Christian.
Yeah, 9 versus 42 seed. It's easy enough. Badger, the 6 seed versus Pymatuning Valley, the 40 seed.
Yeah, Badger all the way.
South Range, the 13 seed, and Independence, the 22 seed.
South Range.
United versus Willoughby, a Cornerstone Christian. I'm
going to go with Cornerstone Christian, but United seems to be playing their best soccer at the right time of the year.
I'm with you on that. I think that's going to be a lot closer than their seed show, but I do think Willoughby might win in a PK shootout. We're going to even make a note of that, see if that comes up. Now, here's an interesting one. Badger, the 6 seed, versus South Range, the 13 seed.
Tell you what, South Range is also playing some good soccer right now.
Very good soccer right now. Only a 1-0 loss to Poland, undefeated Poland.
And they got probably, if not the best keeper, the second, top 2 keepers in the entire area.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty close to being state. Badger's a good team.
Badger's got.
I think Badger's got a little. Yeah, I think Badger's got a little bit more depth. South Range has some very good players spread it on. They got Mason Naples. I can't remember the freshman center mid they have is very good, and they got a great goalie. I think Badger has just a little bit more talent than what South Range has, so I'm going to go with Badger.
Here's why I'm going to go with South Range. And we kind of know these teams enough to where I don't think we need to look at them, but we might. I think that South Range is playing some very good defense, only letting 1 goal in against Poland. I think that if they can keep Badger from scoring, it doesn't matter if they score. If they just keep it a 0-0 tie, it goes to a PK shootout. Who would you rather have in the goal but Colin Angle?
Absolutely.
I think that they get the edge there.
Right. If you put it that way and the game goes exactly the way you just said it goes, 100%, it's going to go South Range. But I think Badger's just a little bit better than that, and it's not going to go that way. I think it's going to be like a 2-1, 3-1, 3-2 game.
Okay.
Actually, you know what this game's going to be? It's a race to 2.
It's going to be the race to. I agree, but I'll give you Badger. I do think they have a little more depth. I do think they have a little more scoring, and this all it takes is one mental breakdown from a defender, and it's a 1-0 game, and then there goes that scenario for South Range.
Mm-hmm.
We have Willoughby, Central Cornerstone Christian versus Badger. Who do you got?
I'm gonna go Badger again.
I'm gonna go Badger. They are the lower seed. But Badger winning a district title, that'd be nice to see.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Many years of challenge in there to be good to go.
Oh, absolutely. Next one up, Division 5, Northeast 3. And our first play-in game is Medina Christian, the 18 seed, versus Brookfield, the local team, the 41 seed.
And Medina Christian.
Yeah, so they end up playing the 39 seed Loudonville, and I have Medina Christian winning that one again.
Yep.
Open Door Christian, the 8 seed, versus Maslin Tuslaw, the 34 seed.
Yeah, Open Door Christian.
Open Door. They made a couple runs in recent history.
Mm-hmm.
Smithville, the 5 seed, versus Matthews, the 43 seed.
Yeah, Smithville.
I think Matthews might not have won a game, if not only one of them this year. Bristol, who's on a tear, historic run. They are the 7 seed versus Liberty, the 27 seed.
Yeah, Bristol. We're going to go there.
All right, so Bristol, the 7 seed versus Smithville, the 5 seed. This is going to be a tough one.
It's one of these ones where my head and my brain are not agreeing, but I'm going to stay with my heart and say Bristol.
Time for a game breakdown.
All right, so for Bristol, they had an overall record of 14-2-1. Their 2 losses on the year came from Mineral Ridge, which is, I'm not going to say surprising, but that was a good win for Mineral Ridge. And they also lost to Badger 5-2. They also tied JFK at the same time there.
Yeah.
It's a bit tough now. They did beat JFK earlier in the year 5-1. So there was that. Bristol's one of those schools where they have some very athletic, and they have a couple kids that can just fill up the back of the net. And the question is, whoever they're playing, do they have a couple good speedsters in the back that can contend with what Bristol has to offer?
It's funny you mentioned that. Smithville was 7-3-5, only 3 losses. One of them Highland 4-1. That's the same team that didn't they beat Mooney?
Mm-hmm.
So 4-1 there. They tied. No, I think they beat them. It was Lake Catholic that tied them. Norwayne, which Mooney beat, they tied 0-0. The Smithville did. Smithville also beat United 1-0 in the early part of the season. They tied Kidron Central Catholic 1-1. They lost to Rootstown 2-0 though. They beat Lake Center Christian 1-0. So I think they do play a much tougher schedule than Bristol.
Yeah, I think this is now you've convinced me. I'm going back to the dark side again.
The dark side for the Smithville Smithies, making it to the district championship.
We got to find that logo.
We will. It will 100% be in here. It is already in here. Medina Christian versus Open Door. Open Door.
We're gonna go
8th seed versus the 18th.
Yep, Open Door.
Open Door. So Open Door versus Smithville. The 8th seed versus the 5 seed.
Smithville.
I'll go Smithville too. They're the Smithies. How do you not root for the Smithies?
I wouldn't be able to say Smithies. I'd have to say like Smitties.
Ooh, maybe they are the Smitties. Maybe that's like the Rootstown,
right?
Smithies. All right, we got 2 more to do in Division 5. Division 5, Northeast 4, Daniel.
All right.
Our first one is Bard Early College, which is a 28 seed, versus LeBray, the 31st seed.
I'm going to go a slight upset here. I'm going to go LeBray.
I will also go LeBray.
Okay.
And then LeBray faces Cuyahoga Heights, the 26th seed.
We're going to go Cuyahoga Heights. That's a who knows game to me.
Agreed.
Not who knows. Either can win, I should say.
Toss up. Champion, the number 1 seed, versus Columbiana, the number 33 seed.
Yeah, champion all the way.
Champion all the way. Northwestern out of West Salem, the 10 seed, versus Brooklyn, the 30 seed.
Yep, Salem Northwestern.
Yep. Canton Central Catholic, the 17th seed, versus our own Columbiana Heartland Christian, the 29 seed.
Yep, CCC.
CCC wins it. Northwestern versus Canton Central Catholic.
Northwestern.
I have the Catholic.
Time for a game breakdown.
Dan, go ahead with Northwestern.
So for Northwestern, they start off. They finished the year 8-4-3 on the year. They have notable wins against Lake Center Christian, Chippewa 1-0. They did lose to Smithville 1-0. They also lost to Norwayne. They lost to Canton South 7-1. And they tied Smithville later on for the last game they played. So a lot of wins in here against teams like Wayndale, Hillsdale. They beat Crestview Crestview, but not the Crestview we're talking about.
Gotcha.
2-1. So I think their best results are losing to Smithville 1-0 and tying to them 2-2.
I don't know, Dan. I think I'm starting to sway towards your end. A 7-2 for the Canton Central Catholic Crusaders. Lost to Mooney 7-0. Beat Crestwood and beat Waterloo. And St. Thomas Aquinas lost to Rootstown. The one that got me was they lost to Canton McKinley 2-1. And unfortunately, Canton McKinley is a rough team for many, many years.
Yeah.
But they did tie Kidron Central Catholic. They beat Minerva. They tied Manchester. But I'm gonna sway over. I'm gonna go Northwestern, same as you. And it kind of doesn't matter. It's a moot point because whoever they play plays the number 1 seed champion, and
they're gonna win the whole thing.
The whole darn thing. All right, last one of this episode. This hour-long episode. Northeast 5, Division 5. We got 3 teams from the local area in here, but it looks like you win 2 and you're a district champion.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm sorry, you play in the district final. Wayndale, the 25 seed, versus Wycliffe, the 38 seed.
Wayndale.
Yeah, Wycliffe is one that had a pretty good run years ago, but you look at their schedule and they're losing just about every game. Kidron Central Catholic, the 2 seed, versus Hillsdale, the 44 seed. Kidron. Mineral Ridge, the 12 seed, versus Chippewa, the 24 seed.
Yeah, give me Ridge.
I'm going to say Chippewa. Let's take a look at that one.
Time for a game breakdown.
All right, Chippewa is 6-10-1. They beat Southeast. They beat Canton Central Catholic 2-1. Aquinas. Lost to Smithville, lost to Norwayne, lost to Northwestern. Got killed by Highland 7-1. Lost to Waynedale, but then beat Waynedale. That's a crazy one. Lose 3-2, then win 6-1.
Yeah, it is.
But a lot of these teams that they're losing to, they have to lose to twice. They're on the other end of that, playing against them there. But I don't see anything really big here that would make me feel like they could beat Mineral Ridge.
Yeah, Mineral Ridge. They finished the year 10-3-2. They lost to Crestview 3-1. They did beat Bristol 2-1. They only beat Liberty 1-0. They tied LeBray at one point in the year. They only lost to Champion 1-0.
Yeah, that was a huge result.
Yeah, and they lost to Newton Falls one time. So Mineral Ridge is one of those teams. It's like, I really think they could win. A lot of these teams, it's either or for them. It's a toss up with what Mineral Ridge shows up. But I think that the 1-0 loss to Champion and the 2-1 win against Bristol, I feel like that gives them a bit of an edge over top of.
I agree. Chippewa. I'll give you.
Yeah, it's Chippewa.
I'll go with you on this one. To me, I think you've swayed me, and at the worst, it's a 50-50 toss-up. And 50-50, we're going to go with the local team. So
absolutely.
Mineral Ridge in there. The next one, Newton Falls, the 14 seed versus Camel, the 19 seed.
I'm going to say Newton Falls here.
I'm going to go Camel. And I'm going to quickly get to this one because I already had up some of them. Camel ended up the season 9-6-1. And who do we have them playing right now? Newton Falls?
Yep.
They lost to Newton Falls already, 5-2. But going into this, Columbiana they beat, Crestwood, Garfield they beat 16-0. Champion they lost to. I'm looking for a signature win here, and it's kind of I'm yet to find it. Heartland Christian they beat 1-0. So I think I'm with you, Dan.
Yeah, Newton Falls are signature wins against Mineral Ridge. I'd say they lost to Champion 3-1. They lost to Crestview 3-0. They got blown out by Roachtown, but they got blown out by Salem. But I'm gonna stay with Newton Falls there.
All right, so the next game coming up, Newton Falls, Mineral Ridge. That's a big one.
Yeah, and this is a toss-up here. But I think Newton Falls beat Mineral Ridge early in the year.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to say that Mineral Ridge is going to exact revenge and beat them here.
Dan, I like it. We're going to keep it Mineral Ridge. And then Waynedale, the 25 seed versus the 2 seed, Kidron Central Catholic.
Oh, Central Catholic.
And then Central Catholic versus Mineral Ridge.
Kidron.
Even though Mineral Ridge makes their last appearance was 2018, if I'm not mistaken, when they won it.
I remember that year.
They could give Kidron some fits there.
Absolutely.
I do think Kidron wins it. And Dan, since we said Kidron wins it, that is the end of the boys bracket. So this is part 1 of our 2-part bracket challenge between us here at Steel Valley. Chris, be here for the girls' side. He's putting the kids to bed. Any last words on the boys' side before we say goodbye?
No, that was fun. And that was wasn't as painstaking as I thought it was going to be, but that was a fun debate. I think we talked through our disagreements, and I think we convinced each other pretty well.
Yeah, and the fact that we agreed on so much made it go smooth.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so for part 1, we're done. Catch you on the part 2.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Pitchmen, a Steel Valley soccer production. Email us at steelvalleysvs@gmail.com to give suggestions, corrections, or any comments you want us to hear. Top net is the best net. Das Boot. For more information, go to steelvalleysoccer.com.
Okay.